Hey guys, and thanks for joining me for yet another video. In this presentation, we're going to take a look at how to prepare smoked herring. We're going to be making a buljol in this case, which means we're going to be taking that cured fish and we're going to be elevating it with a bunch of fresh herbs, spices, as well as incorporating this great flavor that it naturally comes with. We're going to elevate it to another level. Hey guys, and thanks for joining me for yet another video. In this presentation, I'm going to be making smoked herring. Now, I'm just gonna all pair of these fillets are cooked. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just be transferring them to a container. So when you transfer them into a bowl, I'm gonna put some pouring hot water over top, and I'm gonna double soak it. So basically it's going to be in double the amount of water that it actually needs. And what we're going to do is I have a 1/4 cup of vinegar here. We're just going to pour that inside there. Now vinegar cuts some of the rawness out, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on this. So yeah, we're going to place the lid on it and cover it down for about 10 minutes. So you could just shake it around in there a little bit just so that it kind of marinates. You know, you just shake it around in your hand a little bit so that it infuses that hot water into the fish. And you leave it be for 15 minutes, set it aside, and yeah. So while our herring is soaking for that 15 minutes, I'm going to introduce you to the rest of the ingredients. So here I have onions. I have 2 small onions that were halved and then half moon chopped, as you can see here. So they're kind of like the sliced version. So yeah, I also have half of a lemon, and I have a tablespoon of Spanish thyme minced, and I also have some cilantro, 3 tablespoons of minced cilantro on the side there. I also have some Scotch Bonnet, which I'm probably going to be using about a tablespoon of that into my mixture since I'm not using fresh Scotch Bonnet. A teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to be using some oil to fry this meal as well as to saute it on the top. So like I said, I have 3 tomatoes that are frozen. These were from my garden in the summertime, and since I weren't using them immediately, I just freeze them so for occasions like this. So here I have some boiling hot water, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour for 3 seconds over top each tomato. This one as well. And what that does is it helps me to remove the skin and peel it easily. Remember, it's frozen. So once you pour the water onto it, I'm able to take off the skin, which is the goal here. I'm just trying to take off the entire skin off of the tomato so that I can proceed with the tomato. So yeah, that was the whole point of putting the hot water over top the frozen tomato. So yeah, see how easy the skin comes off once you pour that water on it, hot water, for 3 seconds. So we're going to do that to all, and I'll show you what they look like. So our tomatoes are peeled and they are cored, like I took out the tops, and they're still frozen, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat it as if it's unfrozen. It's not very hard to slice, so we're going to just slice it. I'm going to slice it into minced pieces, and I'm going to show you what they look like when I'm done. So it's a frying pan on a medium-high heat. I have my tomatoes here. They're semi-frozen, still pretty solid if you ask me. So you can see it's solid here, it's frozen. So I have 3 tablespoons of oil in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding the tomatoes to that. I'm going to turn your fire up to high. So it's on a high fire right now, and to that I'm just going to add a teaspoon of minced garlic, and that's all I'm putting in for now. We're going to let this develop for about, well, we're going to watch it every 5 minutes, so in the next 5 minutes we'll be back to see what progress has been made over here. And yeah, we'll continue at that point. So as you can see here, our fillets have been soaking for the past 15 minutes in that hot water. It's still pretty hot, as you can see the steam coming off the top. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna drain off that water. Then we're gonna break down our fish. So basically we're gonna break it down into small little pieces. So I'm just gonna do that in my hand to show you. So our smoked herring has been broken down really nicely at this point. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna proceed by using half of our onions here, the fresh onions. We're gonna just be using half, but we're gonna kind of break it open with our fingers. So after 5 minutes, we see that our tomatoes has been starting to get infused nicely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn our fire down to medium, and we're gonna give this a mix and allow it to cook for another 5 minutes. So next we're going to go in with half of our cilantro as well. And we're gonna just put that over top. We're gonna go in with half of our Spanish thyme as well, sprinkling that over top. We're gonna go in with our half of a lemon. We're gonna get all the juice that we can. So we're gonna squeeze that lemon. I'm gonna take those seeds off, don't worry. But we're gonna squeeze all the juice out of this lemon, particularly on the fish. So after we put the lemon, we're gonna go in with some black pepper. We're gonna go in with about a teaspoon of black pepper. This is optional. I'm going in with the Scotch Bonnet. You can totally stop at the black pepper, but I actually like a bit of flavor, so I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of Scotch Bonnet pepper as well. I'm just going to be putting a teaspoon of that olive oil over top. And then we're gonna mix these ingredients into the fish. So at this point our tomatoes are cooked. So we're gonna use the next half of our seasoning. We're gonna just throw it in there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn off our stove. And we're gonna just be mixing the seasoning into this mixture we have here. And the stove's off, so we're just gonna mix it so that everything combines. Break down your onions and make sure everything's coated in this sauce before we proceed. And this oil we're gonna need in order to toss our smoked herring nicely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna transition this sauce mix over top our smoked herring. So we're just gonna pour that on, and then we're gonna give that a mix to incorporate those flavors into the smoked herring, and that would be now we're gonna mix it all together. Hey guys, so here is the finale of the hops that you saw me make, and I have it here dressed with some kale and cabbage coleslaw. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with some of this smoked herring here, and we're gonna apply it right on the top. Yeah, and yeah, so this is what we're having as a breakfast.